Require wiring diagram ice maker whirlpool fridge 6ed25dqf.
Sorry for the delay in replying, I only just came online and saw your question. Are you still looking for help with this? Please just use the reply button to contact me. I've tried looking for this for you, but I think that model is not correct as there is nothing at all listed for that number. Can you recheck it, please? Thanks, Rob.
Model 6ed25dqf ice maker not crushing ice. Mechanism rotates anti-clockwise, gate opens to serve blocks, lights work, water works, it appears rotating arm working but the crushing arm is stationary, E-blades rotating anti-clockwise with crushing arm at top not moving, thought a full wiring diagram would allow correcting the problem. I have numbered the wires to try different scenarios not fixed to date. Help please. Brian P's model no was wrong on rechecking, there is a X in the model near.
Hi Brian, thanks for that. I can now see that number listed, however I can't find any technical information that helps, apologies. So I'll opt out while I continue to look. This opens the question to others as well. If any of us find an answer for you, we will respond and you will get a message from the site. In the meantime, please do not rate or respond to this message as this will lock the question. Thanks, Rob. Is this what you need? It's the only one I could find.
Hi ProTech, I don't have any purple or black wires. Diagram is similar, I think. Trying a few wires will confirm if works. Brian.
Okay Brian, it's difficult to find the diagrams for this. When you change the wires, can I ask why? Is this a different ice maker?
Hi ProTech, I drew a diagram of the wires before I disconnected them. I didn't realize there were multiple same color wires allowing switching. I changed back to what I thought was original with a bit of common sense as to active and neutral. I now find most is working other than crusher. The rotating arm nut under pressure is now coming undone. When working, the arm turns anti-clockwise, causing the nut to unscrew under crushing or distribution of ice. I tried Loctite on thread but can't get leverage on tightening nut without it going in reverse. To test crusher, the arm needs to be tight. The arm drives the ice feeder to the crusher. But all wires are original. Thanks. Brian.
Okay, so you have it running now, or is this going in reverse? For the nut to come loose, it must be turned the wrong direction.
Hi ProTech, yes, that's possibly true. How do I reverse this driving arm? Obviously it's my wiring still. THS Brian.
I'll tell you the truth. I can't find the original wiring, so I really don't know. I wish I did, but that's what it sounds like. The wiring is backwards somewhere. How many wires on the Auger motor? And how many are close in color?
Hi ProTech, 6 sets of wires. 1 year to active, white to coil, I think that's the term, wires bound with plastic, 2 outlets. White to coil, then to light, actives, 2 ice switch wire, white from harness, active to left side coil. 3 blue neutral from harness to right side of coil. Condenser. Coil. 4 red/white seam switch wire from ice switch, E-block or crush, to active. On harness beneath earth but beside active on harness. 5 earth, 6 yellow active to light. Thanks. Brian.
To be honest, Brian, without being able to find the correct diagrams, I can't tell you where the wires go. Sorry, I'll opt out. I hope someone else can assist you. Maybe someone has else the diagrams. Thanks and very best wishes, Brian. The auger motor is AC voltage, so there is no way to miswire this to make it turn the wrong direction. If I understand correctly, everything works, but you are getting only crushed ice, not cubes. Look at the bottom of the ice bucket. There is a rod that goes into a hole in the back of the freezer. There is a solenoid there that lifts up the rod, which in turn moves the crushing fingers out of the way in front of the ice bucket. This solenoid is a common problem for not working or freezing up. With the bucket out and holding the freezer door switch in when pressing the pad for ice, you should see the auger turn and the solenoid move up. Put your finger in there and see if you can move it while doing this. Takes 2 people, or tape the door switch closed.
Hi Tom, it's the opposite. Getting block ice, not crushing. The solenoid appears to be working, giving a thud down, pushing the wire arm, opening a gate in the ice distribution area. I will try again, checking the working of the solenoid. The nut on the rotor arm is coming unscrewed under pressure, but you are confirming the driving mechanism cannot be miswired, and will not operate in reverse. Thanks, Brian. Hi Tom, sorry, thought I replied Sunday night. Solenoid appears to be working, still getting cubed ice but not crushing. Solenoid pushes down, opening ice door. Should it thud, going back to the crushing mode? I think the crushing blades are stationary. Should they be moving in the crushing mode? It appears the ice just falls through in cube mode and is carried through to the crushing blades in crushing mode. I have tried many scenarios with the wiring and numbered them as I go. I think the only pairing I haven't made is changing a wire to the solenoid, white/red. This wire was on the light, or where it is now. When connecting the ice tray to the solenoid activated rotor arm, should the crusher switch or ice switch be activated? The plastic arm up, or the wire spring-loaded driver situated in between the rectangle plastic which operates up and down to open the ice door. Problem still not crushing. I have fixed the nut from loosening or undoing itself under pressure. Thanks, help still needed, Brian.
It is normally in the crushing mode. The solenoid is activated for cubes. Take the bucket out and manually see how this should work. Pushing up on the rod lifts the crushing fingers up so the chute is open and ice does not get chewed at the front. When the solenoid is not energized, the rod is spring-loaded down and the fingers crush the ice.
Hi Tom, the problem is the rotor arm is going anti-clockwise. That was what was undoing the securing nut. The arm needs to be clockwise to feed the ice to the crusher. Currently the back of the crushing arm rather than the mashing fingers is hitting the ice and not crushing. Manually you can turn the crushing mechanism clockwise or anti-clockwise. The question now is, how do I reverse the drive? Thanks, Brian.
Something not making sense here. Put some ice in the bucket, and with the bucket out and the fingers up out of the way, turn the auger to see which way it turns to get ice to move toward the opening in front. That's the way the auger motor should also turn. When you say clockwise or counterclockwise, I don't know from what perspective you are looking. From now on, give it as you are looking in at it, in other words, facing the shaft end of the auger motor. Again, looking at the wiring diagram, this is an AC motor, no start winding, shaded pole motor, and there is no way for it to run the wrong direction. You could prove this by changing the 2 wires on the motor, reverse them, it will still turn the same way.
Hi Tom, changed the wire, still goes counterclockwise. You're right. Check the crusher fingers, they remain unmoved when operating. They are at top and the others rotate backwards towards them. I'm getting cubed ice purely because the blades going backwards pushes some towards the gate. Thanks, Brian.
Can you make the crusher fingers move by manually pushing the rod end back up and down? And you are still saying, I think, that the auger is not turning the direction that would move the ice forward, towards the opening chute in front?
Hi Tom, moving the fingers manually is still counterclockwise, and the back of the feeder blade carries the ice to the crusher blades, which are stationary. If the blades were to go clockwise, the front of crusher blades on both blades would marry, creating the crushing phase. When the auger is operating with the gate open, cubed ice is falling through purely because there's a hole, not because it is being fed properly. To be direct, the auger is not going in the right direction. It needs to be clockwise. Ice is being fed through a hole by accident rather than driven. Thanks, Brian.
The auger motor and the auger inside the bucket should turn clockwise as you face it from the front. There is no way to make the auger run any other direction. Sorry, key correction: the auger should move counterclockwise as viewed from the front to make the ice dispense properly. If you wired it wrong, the motor would not run at all, and there is no way to reverse its direction. With the ice bucket out and viewing the auger motor, are you positive the motor blades are turning clockwise?
Hi Tom, sorry if causing confusion. Looking front on with bucket out, the auger drives counterclockwise. When checking the auger with ice empty and driving by hand in the counterclockwise direction, there are 5 blades, 3 move counterclockwise while the other 2 are stationary. The 3 moving blades going counterclockwise feed the ice with the back smooth side of the feeder blade. They meet the 2 crusher blades at the top of the cycle, but the crushing blades E5 blades don't marry. 3 moving blades are not in crushing position. I noticed the crushing 2 blades are set in the plastic at the top. There are 3 spaces for the other 3 blades, but these blades don't recess in these spaces. If they did, they would be fixed like the other 2. Question: should these 2 crusher blades be moving parts? Even using the auger by hand, the ice cubes feed immediately clockwise and spasmodic counterclockwise. When the solenoid is not activated, the auger keeps circulating the ice till crushed, falling through a smaller hole. Currently it is still not crushing. Sorry, I'm mystified as well. With very few moving parts, it doesn't make sense. Thanks for your patience, Brian.
All the crushing blades do not move, maybe have to. Going by the picture of the spiral ice mover, the shiny metal part that attaches to the auger motor blade in the back, this ice mover would have to turn counterclockwise as you face it from the front. Take the bucket out and have it empty, and place a balled up piece of paper in the back of the bucket and turn the ice mover by hand so it moves counterclockwise as you face the front. Does it not move forward towards the front? There is another piece, a plastic part, at the front that the ice has to travel through also. Is this where it is getting hung up? The fingers that crush don't change. What changes is the flap. They're open so ice has a larger hole to get out. They remain whole cubes and not forced through the crushers. Tomgo 41359.91954434303.
Hi Tom, counterclockwise the ice moves backwards. Clockwise the ice moves forward. When moving clockwise, cubes feed freely and dispense clockwise. 5 blades engage. The solenoid only allows crushed ice to dispense. Obviously manually hard on the fingers, but I think the ice would crush under pressure clockwise. I took the plastic cover off the spiraling auger, and again there's nothing obvious wrong there in the feeder mechanism. Thanks, Brian.
Well, this is certainly strange. All I can think is, the auger motor is a gear reduction motor. Somehow the gears are messed up, making it turn the wrong direction. Why the blade won't stay on? 2. Replace the auger motor. Cheapest sources from www.peakappliancerepair.com. Part no. Is NNNNNNN.
Hightown went to site, only one available was model 6ed25dqf Looking at the parts diagram, all the blades are shown, and for them to crush they do need to be going clockwise. In ordering that part, no. NNN they refer me to 6ed25dqf, etc. Only parts now available with this part still fit. And presumably go clockwise. This has been a pain, but thank you for your trouble. If I order the part, it could solve my problems. When I tried to tighten the keeping nut, it might have damaged the driving mechanism gears. Many thanks, Brian.
Yes, it would fit. Before you even start to replace it, use a test cord on the new one and run it and see if it runs the right direction.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert, now visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.